Hi everyone, welcome back to Too Cool for Middle School. It's officially 2024 and these are our last couple days of winter break, so I'm trying to do a little bit of organizing. I need to get rid of some books. I have a lot. I like having full bookshelves. I like having a library, so I don't want to whittle down all my books to just a few, but I have a lot of stacks here that you can't really see. So I do need to, cull my collection a little bit. And I also, it helps just to like see all of the books that I have to hopefully prevent me from buying more. I don't need to buy more books. I need to read the ones that I have, use the library. So this is kind of a video to remind me that I need to do that. I wanted to talk about the books on my TBR for 2024, the to be read list, and I have a few on Libro FM. This is what I use to listen to audiobooks. This one's not free, I think it's like $14.99 per month, and then that goes to support a local bookstore in my area. I think I also have the app that just goes through my library where they're free. They're just the ones that I want to listen to are not always available, so I forget what it's called at the moment. But The Winners, I am 42% of the way through The Winners by Frederick Bachman. This is the third book in the Beartown series, so I'm listening through this one. Another one I have on this list is Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. It seems too short though. It's only 4 hours. It's a BBC radio and full cast dramatization. I don't know, this was just one that I heard about from my students. A lot of them put it on their list of books that they read last semester and it just sounded interesting, so I'll listen to that one eventually. I am 66% of the way through Wolf Hall, and I do really like it. I feel like I've been listening to it for so long. I have the physical copy. I have it right here. I started reading it and I was like, whew, I think I'm gonna need to listen to this one because it's so thick. But I got really obsessed with Six, the musical, last year, so I wanted to read through the Wolf Hall books. But oh my gosh, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. Oh, and then I'm also 31% of the way through How to Be Perfect by Michael Schur. He's the creator of The Good Place, which is one of my favorite TV shows ever. And so this is kind of a summary of a lot of the philosophy that he researched in order to make the show. What's on my wish list? I saw a lot of people say they liked Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I just haven't looked into it very much besides putting it on my wish list. Go as a River. I heard this one is a historical fiction, so I just added that one. The Bandit Queens, and then 10 Steps to Nanette by Hannah Gadsby. So I get 1 credit per month, and so I'll just add those 1 per month as I make my way through the other ones. So those are all the ones on my audio list. I'm also almost done. Oh, it's probably in the living room. I was looking around for it and couldn't find it, but I'm almost done with Cobalt Red by Siddharth Kara. That's the Amory's Book Club book for December/January. It's really good. It's really awful. It's nonfiction about what's happening in the Congo, the way that we obtain all the cobalt that helps to recharge all of our devices. So I'll talk a little bit more about that one once I'm done reading it, but it's just a tough read because it's so awful. I have a very big stack right here of physical books that I'm trying to get through. Should I even try to hold this up? I'm going to. Let me try to hold this up. This is my stack. It's too many. It's too many books. I shouldn't have this many books. I don't even know how I obtained all these books. This is just a running TBR stack that I have next to my desk. So let's go through these. Okay, starting with this very small one called Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. It's very short, so I'm sure I can get through this one. I want to focus on it, spend time really enjoying this one. I watch the YouTube channel, Jack Edwards' YouTube channel, and he always talks about these Claire Keegan books and how much he loves them, and I know it's set in Ireland. I'm still tracking my books on my maps this year, and I have a link to those if you want to also post on Instagram and track your books across the world this year. I thought that was a really fun way to do it last year, and I have a really recent video where I talked about all the different places that I read last year, and that was a fun way to do it. So This is an Irish book. I don't think I read anything in Ireland last year, so this will be something to add. Another kind of small book that I saw recommended by a lot of like YouTubers and Instagrammers is this one, Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And I know it's set in Tokyo, and it's part of a series. Like they all start with before something, before whatever. So I don't even think this is necessarily the first one, but I think a lot of people liked this one, and it's another just kind of short book. So I don't know, January just seems like a good time to read a few like small sweet books. So I'm excited for this one. This one's a little bit bigger. It's set on an island outside of Norway. It's called The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, and I've been doing this kind of like volunteer thing at the Huntington Library with some other teachers, and one of the people who I met there was just like looking at the types of books that I like to read, and so she kind of like assessed the books that I like, and then she recommended this one. So I thought that was sort of like a cool little skill that she had. So I trust this recommendation. It takes place in 1617 in Finnmark, Norway, and it sounds really interesting. The only thing I know about it so far is that it takes place in like a fishing community, and all the men go fishing and are killed in a storm. And so then it's all women left in this community. And then like, I'm sure they're accused of witchcraft or something. Here's another small one. This is Mind Shift. It Doesn't Take a Genius to Think Like One by Erwin Raphael McManus. We attend his church, Mosaic Church, in Pasadena. And so I've heard like the basic message from this book because he, you know, preached on some of the chapters. So it's another small one, but I feel like this is a good, you know, January kind of like starting the new year, starting new habits of thinking. And I can get very negative. So I just need to like put some of my whiny, negative, complaining energy into imagining positive things. So maybe this will help me do that a little bit. So I need to keep this one like near the top of my pile. This one I've been meaning to read for a while, and I have the original version of Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants. But this one is for young adults. And so we do a nature unit in my 7th grade English course. So I thought I could maybe use excerpts from this. So I really need to read it. There's just so many things on my list. Here's another nonfiction book, kind of like in the religious vein. This one's called Woven, Nurturing a Faith Your Kid Doesn't Have to Heal From by Meredith Miller. I don't know too much about Meredith Miller, but I read a lot of books last year that just kind of had to do with this concept. Like I was able to heal from the evangelicalism that I was raised on by getting a better sense of like the history of what everybody was doing in like the 90s and 2000s. And so yeah, there are things that I would do much differently, and that I do much differently with my kids and like the way that we practice our faith now. And so I'm interested to read this and just kind of see what other people are thinking now that we've emerged on the other end. This one was recommended by quite a few people at the end of the year. I think it won a lot of awards for nonfiction. I have a lot of nonfiction in this stack. This is The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder by David Gran. And he's also the author of Killers of the Flower Moon, which was an amazing movie worth the 3.5 hours or whatever. I saw it in the theaters. This was a Christmas gift. I requested this for Christmas. This ship washes up on the coast of Brazil and Chile, so good, I can get some South America on my map this year. This one is like impossible to put on a map because it's about everywhere. I'm a little more than halfway through this one. I absolutely love this book. I can't believe I haven't finished it, but How to Hide an Empire, The History of the Greater United States by Daniel Immerwahr. I need to just finish this one up, but this is like everything that I do in my historical research when I'm researching the US Virgin Islands. And so this is just about imperialism and like the US empire and all these different places that we have territories, colonies essentially, and just like the history of how we acted like we didn't, act like we don't, and have very different rules for how we govern in these different places. So this one is fascinating. Like, this is already one of my all-time favorite history books, and I still have a little bit to go. I have that much left, but I read it while I was in the Virgin Islands. This is another one that I started last year, and I'm about halfway through. The Lemon Tree by Sandy Tolan, an Arab, a Jew, in the heart of the Middle East. And, you know, after the attack on October 7th and the subsequent war upon all of the people of Palestine, a lot of books were kind of like recommended to help Westerners understand the situation a little bit better. I feel like I'm using so many euphemisms to explain this, like it's hard to get out of that habit. I'm interested to see what I think in the end, but as I talked about a lot in my videos last year, I'm just always trying to build up my schema and understand more about history and places. And I also just got the young adult version. The covers are pretty different. I might like switch over to the young adult version and just like read this first and then come back to this one. I just did want to like read it before I put it in my classroom. I'm sure it's a great one to have, but if kids read it, I just wanted to be able to like discuss it with them, you know? So yeah, I'm looking forward to adding these into my knowledge. This was another just like highly recommended book last year, Master, Slave, Husband, Wife, An Epic Journey from Slavery to Freedom. This is a longer one, but so many people recommended this one, so I just wanted to get it to like remind myself to read it. I think this is what I do. I just like get them to remind myself to read these books, but I just need to like put them on a list and get them from the library and save myself some money and space. But I have a feeling this might be one that I want to own. So you would be surprised how many books I don't buy. There are a lot of books that I keep on a list that I haven't purchased, but these are just the ones that I have. I read Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck last year, and it was good. It was just like, it was a difficult read. This one is called Go, Went, Gone. And actually the plot sounds more interesting than Kairos was, but also set in Berlin, and then it I think the plot has to do with African refugees, so this is a little bit shorter I think than Kairos, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Ah yes, okay, this, The Historian, very long. I just bought this on a trip to the bookstore one time. I don't know what the plot is, I just liked the title, and on the back it does say breathtakingly suspenseful and beautifully written, so ooh. Dark 15th century reign of Vlad the Impaler. Oh, okay. Oh, and it is in Eastern Europe. Good, because I wanted more Eastern Europe on my map this year. Oh, okay. This is another one that I think I just got this at Target. I just liked the cover. I need to get this sticker off. I hate those little 20% off stickers, but I always do buy them when they're 20% off. This one's called In the Time of Our History. Just if it has history in the title, I just buy it. Suzanne Pari. And this one is a sweeping multi-generational saga. I love those. An Iranian family. Okay, sometimes I just don't want to like even know what's on the back before I get started. So let me get this sticker off and then I'll read this one. Oh, I think this was like a free book in a pile somewhere. Enemy Women by Paulette Giles. This one's a little bit worn. I kind of like that. Southeastern Missouri. Great. Okay, St. Louis. Good. Okay, just some more states to add to my map. And another one that I know I have this book somewhere in the original version, but this is the young adults adaptation of Caste, The Origin of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson. It's just another one that I've been meaning to read. I know I need to read it, and then sometimes if I get the young readers adaptation, then I'm like more motivated to read it because I'm like, okay, I can use this in class, like something will come of this, I can use excerpts, so also need to read this. Another kind of middle grades young adult novel. So many people have recommended Free Water to me. It looks like it won a lot of awards and it's historical fiction, and so I want to like be in the conversation. I want to be able to recommend this to students, so I need to read this one too. Let's see, I have a couple others here. Oh, I have read Front Desk, but I'm working on a Teachers Pay Teachers lesson, like unit with this one, so that's why I have this out. Woo! My stack fell down. This is a reread. This book is like faded and old. It was in my car for years, but I love this book, Musicophilia by Oliver Sacks. And I read it so long ago that I just don't really remember my reaction to it very well. So I want to read it again. I just know that I love it. Okay. I've been trying to read this one for a while, Grading for Equity. I hate grading. It's the worst part of my job. It's terrible. I hate it. Yeah, so I am definitely open to just like rethinking this. And I wish also that we had time to read stuff like this, like as part of our job, that we actually like got paid to do these things, and maybe we could have like book clubs or something like that. I think that would be beneficial to everyone and help people stay aware of like new research that's coming out, and it really bothers me that we don't. So yeah, every time I like start reading this one, I'm just like mad that I'm not getting paid, or like it doesn't matter if we do like extra professional development, it's not required of us. We don't get any more like pay for it or anything like that. I know in some districts they do. Yeah, so I need to read it anyway. This is another one. So these were kind of my two. Unearthing Joy by Goldie Mohammed. I loved her first book, Cultivating Genius. And so these are like the two professional development books that I would really like to spend some time like digging into. You know what? We do have a opportunity in my district to like learn about what we want to learn. It's like this time called Swag Time. Yeah, I think I actually will next year like propose like a teacher book club and like go through some of these books together. I'm gonna stop complaining about it and start doing something about it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that next year. I just have a couple other ones here. Oh, I should probably just bring these to school. But I have Finally Seen by Kelly Yang. Don't think I read this one yet. She has so many. She came out with them so quickly. New From Here by Kelly Yang. Another young adult version of this. I have the original version as well. Disability Visibility, 17 first-person stories for today, adapted for young adults by Alice Wong. So I need to like make a stack of all the young adult adaptations of the books that I'm trying to read and maybe like stack them next to the original versions. I don't know. Okay, so I've got all these books to read. Most of the ones here I haven't read. I have some on my shelves that I haven't read. You know, that's what life is for though, just to have, I don't really get stressed out by having a lot of books to read. I'm just like excited. I just want to do it. So anyway, if you have read and loved any of these in particular, you know, help me kind of sift through and choose one or two to read first. I'm very much just a mood reader, just kind of like whatever's there, whatever compels me. And I'm always reading multiple at one time. So then like certain ones I'll get really into, and then sometimes I jump over to something else. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you are reading this year in 2024, and I'll see you in my next video. I really want to just like do a little rundown before it's all out of my brain, but I just want to talk about my trip to the Virgin Islands and everything that I got to do there and everything that I learned there. And yeah, I don't know why whenever something is like especially important to me, I like get nervous about doing it and don't do it. Like I haven't really made a video about my master's thesis. I just got so nervous. I started it a few times, and that was like 7 years ago, and I never really made like a good one while it was fresh in my mind. So I need to do this. I will soon. Hold me to it, comment about it, bully me into doing it. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.